Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone because they rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the world fighting for their salvation. This is the brother Yanazar coming back to you with another lesson. Lord's willing may be edifying to you. And the topic for today is going into how Judah will be roused up during these last days, and how the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. And this video I'm about to play is going to be an example of that. It's concerning a man by the name of Rodney Hilton, his son was recently killed by a police officer, and he sought to get revenge by hitting the officer with his car a few days later. It's a pretty hot topic right now. Brothers are doing lessons on it, so I figure I'll pitch in and put in my spiritual 2 cents. So this is going to be fair use. This video is for educational purposes. We look to educate our people and let them know that you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the true Israelites of the Bible, and we suffer the way we do in this kingdom because we're up under the Lord's curse. But these last days that we're living in, Lord Yahweh Shai is quickly on his way. We pray to be a part of the hopeful elect, which consists of the 144,000. The 1/3, which consists of men, women, and children. The 144,000 consists of all male prophets. I hope to be a part of that number when the Lord returns. So I'm doing my part to try and wake up my people. For those of you who are new to the truth, and one of the things that will take place during these last days is what the Bible calls Jacob's trouble, and I'll go into that, Lord's will. But for the time being, this is just an example of how Judah is going to be roused up during these last days. And Judah is a representation of you Negroes in America, you so-called black people. You are from the tribe of Judah. And this is an example of how Jake is getting fed up with these Edomites, excuse my French, basically fucking with them. We're tired of the oppression. We're tired of the treatment. We're tired of cops shooting us 1,000 times to say they feared for our lives. So we do these videos to edify the hopeful elect, let them know what time it is. So like I said, Lord's will, this video may be edifying. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to get some scriptures afterwards.
We can hold him at no bond for 72 hours, is that right? Yes, correct. Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Authorities in Ohio say the man who allegedly rammed his car into a sheriff's deputy, killing him, did so intentionally. The suspect appearing in court today is the father of an 18-year-old killed in an officer-involved shooting on Thursday. The suspect charged with aggravated murder. Here's ABC's Christian Cordero.
Tonight, authorities say the shooting of an 18-year-old captured on police body cam is connected to the death of an Ohio deputy after that teen's father allegedly hit him with a car a day later. Prosecutors say the attack was calculated and premeditated. Cincinnati PD responding to reports of a stolen Kia at an apartment building Thursday morning. 4 suspects then fleeing police. Among them, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. Body camera shows Hinton fall as he tries to run away. Police say they heard a metal clinking sound they believe was a gun.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! On your right! He's got a gun!
As Hinton emerges from behind a dumpster, authorities say another officer firing 4 or 5 shots.
The officer says that he saw the suspect point the firearm at him.
Yes. Just 6 seconds passed between when police arrived and gunshots rang out. Officials say they tried administering medical aid. Hinton was struck twice and died. Investigators saying this gun was recovered from the scene allegedly found in Hinton's possession. On Friday, a day after that shooting and 2 hours after the Hinton family reviewed the body camera footage, according to the family's lawyer, a driver crashing a car into a Hamilton County deputy directing traffic near a commencement ceremony, killing him. The suspect, authorities say, is Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Hinton's attorney calling the officer's death a horrific tragedy. At his first court appearance today, Hinton walked through a room packed with law enforcement. He's now charged with aggravated murder. The Hamilton County Sheriff says the deputy's death was a tremendous loss. Hinton Jr. is currently being held on no bail. His bond hearing scheduled for Tuesday.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 17, and it says, "In the land of Judah, you so-called Negroes, it shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it." And the land of Judah is going to you so-called Negroes. A lot of our ancestors got on the slave ships on the western ports of West Africa and brought over here in the 1600s, and we've been over here ever since. And like they say, the Northern Kingdom got it first, but Judah got it the worst, referring to you so-called Negroes in this country. Because speaking from experience, when you have dark brown skin, if you're darker than a brown paper bag, the treatment you get just throughout society in general is pretty bad. And like I said, I know from experience, the supervisors are more rude and disrespectful and condescending. And it's even worse with the police, because a lot of times what these supervisors and police want to do, these people in authority, they want to escalate the situation just to fuck with Jake, because they got the power to do it. And they hate Judah the most because Judah is the head tribe. That's why those bastards over in our land right now, the Jews, the fake Jews, pretending to be us. They could have, pretended to be any other tribe from the tribe of Israel, but they chose to be the tribe of Judah because they understand that that's the tribe that the Lord himself came through. And that's the head tribe of the nation of Israel. And yeah, you so-called Negroes in this country, we have it the hardest. We definitely have it the hardest. And because as soon as they see that appearance, it's a reminder of how the Lord himself looks, because they know who the biblical Israelites are, and they know how the Lord himself looks. They try to put him on television as a white Jesus, and that's the vibration they pushed out to our people throughout the years. But the Lord is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. And as you can see, Judah is starting to get rose up during these last days, because, like I said, we have it the worst in this country. When you have dark brown skin, they call you ugly, they call you stupid, they call you slow, they call you all kinds of names under the sun, because they hate that appearance, because it's a reminder to them of how the Lord looks. And going into the story, when the brother was in the courtroom and whatnot, you saw him lift his head in pride and whatnot. That's Judah being fed up with the oppression in this country. It's that typical narrative. The cop thought that his son had a gun or whatever the case may be. He wasn't sure, but he pulled the trigger anyway. And looking at the courtroom, judging based off one of the news articles I read, there was more than 50 police officers in that courtroom. I thought that was very unprofessional. There was no reason for that many police officers to be stationed in the courtroom like that. So I take it was like a what you call an intimidation tactic. They were trying to put fear into the man, but he wasn't having it. They took the man's son from him, so that's something you take personal. And Jake is getting fed up with being a so-called black man in this society, because as so-called black men, we have it the worst in our nation. So we get treated the worst. So Jake is fed up with being pulled over, being shot and killed by police. And all they gotta do is say they feared for their life because they thought the suspect had a gun, and they pulled the trigger over 1,000 times. Send you back to the spiritual world just based off an assumption. So during these last days, all that's coming to an end, because let me tell you something about spiritual power. During these last days, the Lord's going to lift up a standard when they come in to get the men of the Lord, but the Lord's going to allow 2/3 to get busy too and let loose on Esau. The 2/3, in a sense, are going to have a sense of spiritual power in a way too. You know, when they're getting shot by police multiple times and they still keep fighting, that's going to be a form of spiritual power. The Lord's going to allow even the 2/3 to get their licks in on you Edomites that have oppressed our people for so long. And now that Trump's back in office, Esau's going to go all out because, they feel more emboldened by the man. And speaking of Trump, he just signed an executive order, which basically gives the police immunity to basically shoot people and say they feared for their life, and they don't have to suffer any real repercussions for it. They don't have to get sued and go to court and all this extra stuff. They're not going to really get punished for shooting and killing unarmed citizens. You already know that executive order was signed for you Jakes. And, Donald Trump is talking about how black people, we want police in our neighborhoods that bad because we're tired of the drive-by shootings and things like that take place. So we really need more police officers in our neighborhoods. And Donald Trump's going to make that narrative, so he could be justified, bringing in martial law, sending the military to, our neighborhoods, to basically kill off Jake and not have to suffer the repercussions for it. And because that's basically what the word immunity goes into. It's helping the police avoid, any type of repercussions for shooting and killing you Jakes. So when Donald Trump talks about make America great again, he's talking about taking us back to, the 50s, 60s, 70s, when the Edomite can shoot you in the face, move on with their business and not have to worry about any repercussions. And I'm going to get this last scripture before I go ahead and close out. Because these are in fact the last days, so all hell's going to break loose very soon. Let me see. And just I speak as a man. I believe we're already in Jacob's trouble, but like anything else, there's going to be a buildup to how bad things get. Things are bad now, but these are just the beginning of sorrows. Here we go. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, and it says, "Alas, for that day is great," referring to Jacob's trouble, "so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." And during the time of Jacob's trouble, all hell's going to break loose. The prices are going to skyrocket. People are going to be attacking each other because resources are scarce. Animals going to be, they're going to be out here hunting, searching because they're hungry too. Wild beasts shall change their places. And ultimately, the end game for this place is the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, is going to be made mandatory. And for those of you who take it, you're going to have to, suffer the punishment that goes along with that. No matter how much pressure Esau puts on us, you have to ask yourself, do you fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or do you fear man and what man can do to you? Because look at it this way, whatever man can do to you, it's only temporary compared to what the Lord can do to you. The Lord can kill you in this life and bring you back into the next life and kill you again in the worst possible way. So the Lord can keep bringing you back to life and kill you as many times as he wants to. But a man can't do that. So look at it from that perspective. Yeah, we hope to be in the Lord's good side. And we hope to be a part of the hopeful elect, because during these last days, we're going to need some form of protection because of how bad things are going to get. So, yeah, that was pretty much the end of the lesson. Yahweh Ratazah can do another one later on today. So, call Holoim La, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.